Gotta talk about Bonnie Blue again, the adult content creator who was reportedly arrested in Bali. Lot of updates since we brought you this story. A, is there a possibility that her potential criminal case could be falling apart? B, could she be deported by this weekend? And C, we may have just gotten word about who snitched on her, how she was even brought to authorities' attention. There's a lot of updates. We're going to break it all down with international law attorney David Teferi. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Now, I gotta say this real quick. If you're putting things out on social media, if you're in the content creation game, you might be wondering how we're able to put so many clips out there so quickly. Well, I'll tell you, this is a secret. This is something we used. It is called Opus Clip. This is an all-in-one AI editor that makes it so easy to cut, create, and upload videos across any platform. Through AI, Opus Clip generates B-roll, it reframes footage, and it even cleans up audio. It is so easy. You just visit opus.pro/sidebar, you sign up, you upload, and in minutes, you have perfectly edited clips ready to go for TikTok, Shorts, Reels. Opus Clip is your one-stop shop. And having a tool like Opus Clip means that our producers can get you viral courtroom updates instantly. This is the most powerful tool there is to help you share ideas and edit like a pro. So go to opus.pro/sidebar to create your videos today.
I have not used Bangbus in a month.
All right, so we need to talk about the latest twists in the Bonnie Blue saga out in Bali. Now, you remember the basics. Tia Billinger, 26-year-old British content creator, got arrested last week during a raid. Cops reportedly seized the Bangbus, the condoms, the Viagra, the whole kit. She was apparently looking at up to 15 years in jail under Indonesia's brutal anti-porn laws. It's wild stuff, but here is where the plot has thickened just in the last 48 hours since we covered all this. And it is, by the way, a masterclass in how a legal story can pivot very, very quickly. So first, the supposed snitch who turned Bonnie in, he's apparently talking. According to news.com.au, an expat who helped tip off police has come forward. This person apparently says they literally followed her, quote, gangbang bus around Bali. They told the media that the cops were initially confused, saying, quote, they just couldn't comprehend it. But once it was explained what she was allegedly doing, that she was allegedly, quote, bragging about sleeping with schoolies, and that the footage was going to go worldwide, that is when authorities moved in. Now, what was this snitch's motive? Reputation. Flat out said, Bali is not Thailand. Bali is not the Philippines. We don't want Bonnie Blue's gangbang from Bali being posted and shared around the world. And then Bonnie herself faced the music and smirked. She was pictured walking into an immigration office, smiling. When reporters asked if she'd make more explicit content in Bali, she hit him with this: subscribe and you'll find out. Now, she did say that the bang bus is over, okay? But here is the critical legal update from the Daily Mail as well. Their reporting suggests that this whole potential case might be deflating. Why? So according to their sources, Bonnie Blue and the 3 other men that were arrested are now telling investigators they weren't making pornography at all. They're claiming it was a, quote, entertainment-themed reality program, that it was designed to look spicy for social media, but within the bounds of Indonesian law. And get this, a police spokesperson is quoted as saying, no pornographic activities or acts have been found in the collaborative content. So if it's not porn, what's left? Well, here's where the police chief comes in. So the police chief reportedly said, so far, no pornographic elements have been identified, but there are strong indications of traffic law violations and immigration offenses. Now, the investigation is reportedly focused now on these visa violations, these alleged visa violations. So working on commercial content while on a tourist visa, traffic offenses with the bus apparently being registered one way, but it was painted a different way. And because of all this, the Daily Mail is reporting that a deal may be in the works. So potentially a fine for these lesser infractions, and Bonnie Blue would be deported as early as this weekend, instead of going to prison for over a decade. Now, we've gone from an international crime story to what might be just a messy immigration spat. The question is, will the authorities believe this was just a reality show? Is that a real defense? Are they going to throw the book at her anyway? This is a really serious issue. So we want to reset real quick. You've probably seen Bonnie Blue online. By the way, in case you don't know, this is who we're talking about.
I'm the girl that rage baits, the one that takes your son's virginity and has no issue making your husband cheat.
So yeah, Bonnie Blue, Tia Billinger, 26-year-old British adult content creator known for her very public, very provocative stunts.
But it's so annoying, like I have a shower, makeup, hair, and then it's within minutes, like completely destroyed. I have just been the players, got a very red eye.
And last week, she took that act to Bali, Indonesia. And that is where she was reportedly arrested in a major police raid. Authorities accused her of producing pornography, which is a serious criminal offense in Indonesia, not some minor charge. She was staring down the possibility of 15 years in jail. And that was the massive, scary story as of earlier this week. But since then, this case has taken some incredible turns. We've talked about a snitch coming forward, new reports that the entire prison threat might be falling apart. The latest development is huge. There's more we want to talk about. So for that, let me bring on somebody who we just talked with last time we were breaking this story. Very fast-moving legal twist. International law attorney David Teferi. David, thank you so much for coming back on to talk about this because there's these new developments. So I want to start with the new video that came out from The Sun. Bonnie Blue arriving for questioning at the immigration office in Bali, and according to the report on the scene, when asked by reporters if she intended to make more explicit content in Bali, she replied, "Subscribe and you'll find out." Feels a little bit like poking the bear.
It does. First of all, you did a great summary of where we are now, but there's still a lot of questions, and the most recent developments raise new questions. The video of her going to the immigration authorities is interesting because she's smiling. She seems happy. She doesn't seem to be someone who is regretful for her actions. She's scantily clad, which again, as we discussed last time, is not really how you're supposed to dress in Bali, because Bali, despite it being a tourist destination, is a very conservative culture, and the locals there are very conservative. Women usually cover themselves, at least their shoulders and their thighs, and she wasn't. And so this wasn't what you would expect her to do if she's getting good defense counsel and legal advice. You would think she would be apologetic. She would try to clear up the misinformation and reassure the Indonesian authorities that she didn't intend to break the law. As you also mentioned, it's not clear if the Indonesian authorities have found any pornographic materials, and that's why maybe their prosecution won't go forward on violation of the pornography law. But you could also expect that it's going to take them some time to look through everything she has. Apparently, they have, cards.
Hey everyone, welcome back to AWWWUSACAM. Diving into a topic that's been quietly creeping into headlines, footage, and maybe even your own neighborhood: theft. From bustling cities to peaceful suburbs, the number of break-ins, car thefts, and robberies across America is rising faster than most people realize. Now, theft has always existed. That's nothing new. But what's happening in 2025 feels different. We're not just talking about isolated incidents or the occasional stolen bike. We're talking about organized groups, smarter methods, and everyday people suddenly realizing, wait a second, it could happen to me. Across the country, reports of property crime are climbing. In California, police departments have noted spikes in car break-ins. In New York and Chicago, small business owners are reporting stolen goods, smashed windows, and empty shelves. Even in small towns, the kind where people used to leave their doors unlocked, residents say they're sleeping less soundly. The data backs it up. According to FBI estimates and local law enforcement reports, thefts, from shoplifting to home burglaries, have increased by nearly double digits in some states since 2022. And experts say it's not just about bad guys, it's about circumstances, a mix of economics, technology, and plain opportunity. Gone are the days when a thief was someone in a black hoodie sneaking around at midnight. Today, theft looks smarter. Criminals are using technology, Wi-Fi jammers, GPS trackers, and even social media to plan their crimes. And here's the scariest part. Sometimes they know more about you than you think. Think about it. How often do we post when we're out on vacation? How often do we leave packages sitting on our porch? For modern thieves, that's not just coincidence, that's opportunity. Every neighborhood has that one house with a Ring camera or motion sensor lights. But thieves are learning how to get around them. Some carry devices that block camera signals. Others wear masks that confuse AI-based systems. In short, the tech meant to protect us is now being challenged by smarter criminals. Car theft has become its own epidemic. With push-button starts and keyless entry systems, stealing a car no longer requires smashing a window or hot wiring. Hackers can clone a digital key in under a minute. In 2024 alone, cities like Detroit, Atlanta, and Los Angeles reported a surge in car thefts, especially of certain models that are easy to exploit. TikTok trends even fueled it. Yes, people literally turned car theft into a viral challenge. That's the reality we're living in. Crime is no longer just a back alley issue. It's gone digital, viral, and mainstream. When crime rises, everyone looks for someone to blame. But the truth is, it's complicated. Experts point to a few big factors: inflation, rising rent, job insecurity. When people struggle to survive, desperation can push some to steal. Police in many cities have linked theft spikes to unemployment and cost of living increase. In some states, laws changed during the pandemic to reduce jail overcrowding. Certain petty thefts are now treated like misdemeanors, small fines, quick releases. But critics argue that's made criminals bolder. They know they might walk free within hours. When someone steals electronics, luxury clothes, or even baby formula, they don't have to sell it in dark alleys anymore. They list it online, on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, or lesser-known platforms. And just like that, stolen goods turn into a single organized group can steal thousands of dollars worth of goods and sell them within hours. No questions asked. And police? They're struggling to keep you behind. Every statistic is a story. A small business owner in Chicago whose store was broken into 3 times in a month. A family in Texas who woke up to find their car and their toddler's car seat gone. An elderly couple in Oregon who lost their jewelry and decades of memories in one night. These stories don't always make national headlines, but they tell the real story of what's happening across the United States. A quiet erosion of trust and safety. When theft becomes normal, when people stop being surprised by it, that's when society changes. Walking, businesses install bars on windows, cities start locking themselves down, both physically and emotionally.